All right, everybody, welcome back. We're diving deep today into the world of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And,
Through the eyes of Joe Rogan.
through the eyes of Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
We're talking all things Katt Williams, as told by Joe Rogan.
Yes.
This is coming from Joe Rogan's appearance on Theo Von's podcast.
Yeah.
Theo Von had Katt Williams as a guest.
Yep.
And Rogan was on a recent episode of Theo Von's podcast.
Right.
So this should be fun.
I think so.
You know, Katt Williams is
A legend.
kind of a legend. I mean,
Yeah.
super funny.
Super energetic.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. That's a good word for him.
So Rogan, you know, he's a comedian himself, so he knows
He's got a unique perspective.
what it takes to be successful
Right.
at stand-up. And Rogan
And he's been doing it for a long time, too.
had this story about seeing Katt Williams at the Comedy Store.
Oh,
And what I stood out to Rogan wasn't just the jokes,
I can imagine.
but just Katt Williams' presence on stage.
Mhm.
And Rogan said you could just feel his 30 years
Wow.
of experience
Yeah.
in every punchline,
That's got to be amazing to see.
you know?
Yeah, to see somebody
Someone who's been doing it that long.
who's mastered their craft.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's like in any field,
Yeah.
when you see somebody who's been doing something for 30 years,
Yeah.
you're going to see a level of mastery.
It's like a masterclass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And stand-up is so unique because,
Yeah.
you know, you're up there alone.
It's just you and the
It's
microphone.
just you and a microphone, you
Mhm.
know, so your experience
Right.
really
It's
becomes,
your most powerful tool.
it's everything,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's not just the time on stage.
Right.
Rogan also talked about how Katt Williams handled a heckler.
Oh, I love it when comedians handle hecklers.
This is in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned the whole thing into this bit.
Wow.
And he had the whole crowd chanting, America.
That's incredible. He turned that negative energy into something positive.
It's amazing.
It's the mark of a true professional.
How would they do that?
I think it's crowd work.
Yeah.
You know, it's that improvisation. You
Yeah.
got to be so quick
Yeah.
and so sharp and witty and, you know,
Read the room.
you had to read the room,
Yep.
feel the energy,
Right.
and know how to use what the heckler is saying
Against them.
against them. Yeah, turn it around.
That's amazing.
Katt Williams is a master of that.
It's not all about being on, though.
Right.
Rogan also mentioned
What do you say?
that Katt Williams kept breaking character on
Really?
Theo Von's podcast.
Huh.
And it was actually funnier because of it.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you think about humor,
Uh-huh.
it often relies on,
Yeah.
you know, this
That persona.
a persona, yeah.
Right.
But when that's broken,
Yeah.
like strategically,
It's all right.
intentionally,
Mhm.
it creates this intimacy.
Yeah.
Like you're in on the joke.
Yeah. Like we're all
Like the comedian.
we're friends here laughing together.
Exactly. And that vulnerability, I
Yeah.
think it really connects you
Right.
with the audience.
I think it makes it more real.
Yeah, it makes it more.
Makes you wonder
Yeah.
if that was a conscious choice or
If he planned that.
if that's just his natural energy.
Yeah, maybe it's both.
It could be both.
Well, it's effective.
But it works.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so this is something Rogan mentioned that I thought was
What is it?
pretty wild.
What?
Katt Williams ended up on a podcast with the president.
No way.
Yeah.
Which one?
I think we all know.
Okay.
And they ended up having this conversation about cocaine.
Oh, wow.
Kind of a surreal,
That is surreal.
kind of a funny situation.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
So what do you think that says about comedians?
What do you think?
And how they engage with powerful people?
Well, they're not afraid to
They're not afraid to.
push the boundaries
Yeah.
and be unconventional.
Right.
I mean, humor,
it can be a tool,
yeah,
you know,
to disarm people.
to disarm people, to challenge authority,
Right.
and, you
To
know,
get people thinking.
offer different perspectives.
Yeah. Perspectives you wouldn't normally hear
Yeah.
in a serious
In
political
a serious context.
It's like
Yes.
sneaking in
What?
like a truth bomb under the guise of a joke.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that truth bomb under the guise of a joke.
Yeah.
I like that.
So Rogan also talked about two pieces of advice
Oh, really?
that he took from Katt Williams.
Okay.
The first one
Laid on me.
is never eat before a show.
Hmm.
Apparently, Katt Williams believes
Interesting.
that an empty stomach keeps the mind sharper. What do
So,
you think about that?
I mean, it sounds kind of strange.
Yes.
But it makes sense when you think about the focus.
Mental focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stand-up requires.
I don't know. And it's kind of like what athletes do.
It's like a pre-game ritual.
Yeah.
You know? So for Katt Williams,
Right.
maybe abstaining from food helps him stay.
Energize,
Yeah.
alert,
Consequences.
avoid that food coma.
Yeah, you don't want to be up there feeling sluggish.
No.
And you know Rogan,
He's all about
he's all about health.
health and optimization.
Yeah. So he probably thought that made a lot
It
of
makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about getting into
yeah,
that peak state.
peak mental state.
Yeah,
And it's interesting how these rituals can
Yeah.
help with that.
I think so.
The second piece of advice was
Okay.
to create a mood-setting playlist
Oh, I like that.
for pre-show
That's a
preparation.
good idea.
Rogan even created his own Spotify
He did.
Green Room playlist,
Uh-huh.
inspired by Cat Williams.
Yeah, I've heard that playlist.
Music is so powerful
Yeah.
for regulating mood.
Absolutely. I mean, athletes use it for motivation and focus.
For sure.
So why not comedians?
Makes sense.
Right.
It's like a shared energy,
Yeah.
you know, like a
Yeah.
community.
So it makes you wonder, what's on Cat Williams' playlist?
Yeah, what's he listening to?
We should make our own playlist.
That's a great idea.
But on that note,
Okay.
I'm going to leave you all with this.
Okay, I'm ready.
What rituals or routines do you use to get in the zone?
Yeah.
Whether it's for work,
Uh-huh.
for your creative pursuits,
Uh-huh.
or even just for everyday life.
Interesting.
How can you create your own pre-routine
Yeah.
to tap into your full potential?
I like that.
You know,
That's a good question.
maybe it's music.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something else entirely.
Could be anything.
The key is to find what works for that.
That's the key.
So that's it for today.
All right.
See you next time.
See ya. 21